if you're not able to hear me. Okay, great. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Manaswini and I'm from the Social Alpha team. Um, Before we proceed, I thought so. This session is in partnership with Star Forum and Samanvay Foundation. Before we get started, for those of you who have joined our session for the first time, Social Alpha is a science and technology business incubator, and we support innovators and entrepreneurs who are trying to create a socio-economic and environmental impact from their lab to market journey. Similarly, we also have, and also a bit about our partner, Stars Forum is a collaborative body for mutual support of those engaged in skills and knowledge-based development of rural India. The forum facilitates advances in the field, fosters collaboration, and promotes innovative approaches to reach the larger number of people. And and also a bit about Samanvay Foundation. We also have Avnis are actually a project by Samanvay Foundation, and it's an open source field worker platform designed to aid programs operated by grassroots level organizations and field workers. But I think we'll get to that with a little bit more with the session today. And I would like to thank the speakers for joining us today. I just before we get started with them, I thought I'll just give a quick introduction. So today we have Vivek Singh, Arjun Khandelwal, and Shobha Shah as the speakers for today's session. A bit about them: Vivek is the co-founder at Samanvay Research and Development Foundation, and and Arjun is the co-founder at the development at Samanvay Research. In the last one decade, both of them have been working towards building technologies for catering to the social enterprises and for a better and an equitable society. Um, Ms. Shobha Shah is a Seva user of the. Sorry, I think my internet got disconnected. Sorry. Dr. Shobha Shah is a public health expert, and she's been with the Seva Rural for the last 35 years now. And she's also a user of Avni, and she'll be able to help you understand a bit more about the platform. So I think on that note, over to you, Vivek and Arjun. Please feel free to take it forward.
Thanks, Manaswini, and good evening all, and thanks for joining in for this webinar. Uh, I think at this moment, I think Vivek's internet is not working fine. So I'll get started with the Avni introduction, as that is our first session that's planned. So let me share my screen. Is this fine now?
Yes.
Manaswini, can you
Yes.
confirm? Okay,
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Arjun, before we get
Yeah.
started, we also have a poll that needs to be done regarding the sectors who've joined us. Can I run that poll now?
Sure. Yeah, I think you can do the first poll right now.
Right.
That would help us
So
get some info.
everyone, thank you for joining us. But since we cannot have a round of introductions for everyone, we thought we'll just do a quick poll to understand the domain you're joining us from. This would also help us sort of engage with you better. So please vote in the poll that you've received. I can then share the results.
Okay, so we have education and other maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll get to know if we get time what other sectors domain, and health, of course. I mean, significant percentage there, health and agriculture. Sure. So I think That's useful. I think I'll get started with the introduction to Avni now. My screen is still visible, Manaswini, right?
No, Arjun, I think you'll have to reshare the screen.
Okay, sure. Yeah. How about now?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Avni, basically, like Manaswini mentioned in the introduction, is an open source platform for field workers and grassroots organizations. What we've learned in last 10 years or so about the work in the social sector is that most of the work done by NGO or government finally rests on field workers and managing work on the field, and these field workers providing service to the communities, whether it is about recording some data, monitoring the work on the field, providing counseling, referral advice. There are various kinds of services all together in one, also in one interaction, that they provide. And we've seen that this kind of activities are sector agnostic, as in it's not that it is just in health where this is required, or just education. We've seen this in sanitation, waste management, livelihood, various domains, that this similar kind of nature, and there is a lot of significance of how field workers are able to manage their work. And typically what we've seen is that there is usually a program design or protocol, and field workers are provided training on this, like how frequently they are supposed to monitor the data or visit someone, and they use different types of tools to assist them in their work as well as to record data. Most places we've seen that these are paper based tools, which is like physical registers, and then maybe it is converted into some Excel sheets or uploaded into Google Drive. In some cases there are digital tools that are also being used by the organization and field workers, though very rare is what we've seen. And then through with the help of these tools, they execute the program as designed in the field. What we've seen is that there are the listed challenges that they face while performing the field work. One is that how to ensure the implementation is as per design or plan. Let's say if there is a monthly protocol, or let's say for a particular kind of condition, there is a visit that has to be done within a week. Let's say there is a condition like malnutrition, or some other type of vulnerability, RTI, STI. We've seen these, that there are then protocols that either that you on a regular basis do a monthly visit, and maybe sometimes if based on needs, then you have to do a follow-up visit just a week after. But how do you ensure that this is happening actually on the field? It's very difficult if without the assistance of certain tools. Similarly, there is the feedback between field and program management using paper-based tools is very slow. Either the field workers have to travel to the center where then everyone gets together and then reviews the work on the field. And considering many NGOs who work in terrains that are geographically difficult, even small distances take quite a bit of time to travel. So all these factors cause delay in the feedback between field and program management. Again, monitoring the program's progress is a challenge, because all of this data then has to be compiled into something through which sense can be made. So this takes time. Requires skills like data, either performing operations on Excel, or whichever tools. There are statistical tools that are available. So this usually then again, this causes delay in monitoring the program's progress, both type of indicators like the process indicators and the outcome indicators. So these are some of the challenges that we've seen during the field work. And even for the field workers, that they have to manage hundreds of active cases simultaneously. Like if it's a, for example, a case of a ASHA like worker or ANM like worker, then they have to maintain the cases of all the villagers over there. Of it, or it's a volunteer, let's say, doing a COVID-19 monitoring, for example, then there are all the uh, 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 persons who are either home quarantine, or I mean various use cases where they have to maintain multiple cases and separate their each of the individual case could have a different need based on their vulnerabilities, their conditions, various factors. This causes overall complex work schedule for them, uh, uh, either it has to be a physical visit or a call to be made, so different location, dates, day of the month, uh, based on the protocol and the uniqueness in each case. And then of course for the monitoring, they are required to send a lot of reports, so they have to compile all of this data. I mean, we've seen many times that they maintain in their small diaries while doing call or meeting, and then they have to put it up in some bigger physical registers, and then maybe put it in some Excel themselves. So they have to do a lot of this work towards the end of the month or beginning of the month. So this basically, all of this adds to the complexity or complexity of the and various aspects, behavioral challenges, etc., that they have to face. So this, the work of the field workers, what we've realized is that work of the field workers is critical and difficult, and the existing data collection tools, most of them are inadequate for the field work. Either they are just focusing on data collection and not doing much on to assist the field workers to do their job better, or for example they lack something like case management, so it's just like a form that is filled one at a time, and so they cannot look at past history, etc. So I mean, uh, understanding and realizing these problems, we started working on Avni, and the main goal was to help improve the overall field work, and the solution has to be such that it is affordable given the limited resources in the not-for-profit sector. And so with this goals, we've been for last 4 to 5 years, we've been working on this tool, and we've kept on building features as we kept on learning more from the field. So so Avni as a tool provides you ability to design data formats that where you can manage data of individuals, families, groups like self-help groups, or even family is a type of group. Uh, and then all the services that are provided to these subjects, as we call them in Avni, and also information collected with respect to the services provided. There are also like guided steps for each like beneficiary field worker interaction. So based on, let's say, a data that I entered, let's say a call, whether a call got connected or not connected, based on that, the next step as to what got discussed on the call can get asked. This is something that is not possible to do in a paper world. Again, like up to date and automatic calendar. So because Avni has an ability to schedule visits, it keeps on updating the calendar as and when the users are using the system app. So it's not like end of the month, then you have to look at all the work that you have to do and you have done, and based on that then decide that okay, what all you have to do in the next month. So So a lot of we've seen that at a lot of places in a lot of NGOs, like either first or 31st or 30th of the month is spent, whole day is spent reviewing that work and then figuring out where all they need to visit, what all and of course this has the overall system has a reporting and dashboard capabilities that enable supervisors and program managers to monitor all the work that is being done. And so Avni caters to the needs of these various users or roles that are there in the field work. So there are field workers. Then there are typically there is a pyramid like structure. So you have field workers, and then there are supervisors or facilitators. Then there are data entry operators. There are program coordinators or project managers, and there are statisticians or program analysts. And this is how the overall ecosystem of Avni looks like. These are the different components that are there. So here you see Avni Field app, which is an Android app that can work completely offline. So even if there is no internet connectivity, uh, this app can work completely. And when you have internet connectivity, you can sync your data. This app allows you to collect data or help. This is the job aid application for the field worker. Again, there is this can be downloaded from the Play Store, and we have the Android app right now. Then there is web app that allows you to design. If you have the required skill sets, then this you can design the complete app by yourself using the web app, and also manage data like users, uh, their permissions, roles, uh, and even you can download extracts that you can use in various statistical tools if you'd like. And then there is a reporting and dashboard application that we develop custom for each project, where you have the ability to like have your own dashboards as per your requirements, and reports in the form of various visualizations like tables, charts, maps. All of that is there. And of course, and the whole app is multilingual, so there is a translation management system where you can upload the translations, and the same app can then be converted into different languages. So far we've seen Avni being used in different use cases. Health is definitely dominant, as we started with the health use case, and even within health, maternal and child health is dominant. But over there also, I mean, different projects that we've been doing. So in some project there is ASHA who's a user, or ANM who's a user. In some projects there are NGO workers who are users. So there are different levels of users, and based on that even their program design differs. The detailing of the data that they capture, or the kind of advice they provide through the app. We've also had use case around sanitation and water need assessment. There also had been a project we done for dam desilting, where I mean the work on each of the dams in the state of Maharashtra was monitored using this project. Then for NCD screening and patient management, adolescent continuum care, Shovaben here would be talking about the project that they are doing with adolescents and how they are using Avni in their program. Child nutrition and growth tracking, like the projects like Fulwari, which is like a child crash, or even population health needs assessment, regular monthly needs assessment, etc. So these are various use cases that we've seen, both in, I mean, health. We've done a couple related to water, a few related to like waste management and sanitation. A few key points about the platform. One is that it is available as an affordable cloud service, where you can sign up by yourself, and then you can set up the app completely by yourself and start using it. Or I mean, we can help you set up the whole app, and then you can start using it, and then you don't need to invest in your own hardware like machines, etc., to host this platform. uh, Having said that, the platform is completely open source, so you can choose to, like, if you have already partnership with some software provider, or you have technical capabilities within the organization, then you can choose to host it by yourself as well. These are some examples, some of the organizations who are using Avni. Currently, there are about 25 organizations who are using Avni, 25 different, I mean, NGOs across the country for various use cases. Yeah, that brings me to the end of this presentation. Thanks. Vivek, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So,
You'd like to add anything, or should we take?
no, so yeah, so the only thing I would add is that we have tried to design Avni such that it can cater to most type of field work. And we have done that by trying to generalize field work from different domains and from different type of projects. And hence that's why all the people who have joined today have also come from different organizations, different sectors as well. So that is what we hope to achieve. And also there is an important aspect here is that Avni is open source. What it means is it's owned by like not just by Samanvay, but there are multiple organizations who have worked together to create the product. So that's the only thing I would add. So there is one question in which we can take now. So you have mentioned, so the question from Dilshad is, you have mentioned that field workers having access to past information. Can you please elaborate on how does it work with an example?
Yeah. So Dilshad, so after this, I mean, we'll jump into the demo. So in that, you'd be able to see how the past information can be seen by the field workers. Basically, the whole case is managed within the app itself. It's not just form. So that's how it helps. But we can look at it more when we see the demo. Is there any other question, Vivek, we want to take?
No, I think if that will get answered in the demo, then we can do that. There are other questions which I need to clarify further. There's one question, is there a trial version of Avni and how can we subscribe for a trial?
Yeah, so there is a link on the website, Dwiji. There is a way, so you can fill up the form, and we can create an account for you, and then you can start playing with it and trying it out by yourself. There is a 3-month trial period that is there. You can try it out, and yeah.
Yeah, so I think we can maybe move on to the demo. Manaswini, do you want to do a quick check on what tools currently people use?
Sure. Sure.
So we just asking, we're just doing a quick poll to just get a sense of what tools are currently getting used by your organizations.
Okay, that's I think great. A lot of people are using some sort of a tool, about 50%, and ODK there, ODK Kobo Collect is uh, at the top. So, Vivek, shall we start with the demo?
Arjun, I think Vivek is here. He got dropped off.
Okay. So I can then, I mean, yeah, I think his internet isn't working very great. So I can then get started uh, with the demo. And there are, I see questions coming in still. So we can maybe take some of the questions after the demo is done. Does
I'm
that
trying
sound
to reply also to some of the questions if I can, so that those questions are clear, and
yeah.
yeah, and we can take it up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me know if my screen is visible again. Manaswini, can you confirm the screen is visible, right?
Yes, Arjun, it's visible.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, in the demo, we would cover various aspects of the app, like you saw in the component, even the diagram over there. So we would basically look at the Android field app, the offline application, and various these features that are available over there. Then we would head over to data entry app, which is the online counterpart. Uh, then we would look at the admin, where you can do user management, form management, translation management, and towards the end we would look at reporting and dashboard. So
Arjun,
let me
can you make the screen bigger?
Yeah, can you just zoom in a
Just
little bit?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, much better. Uh,
okay, but if I zoom in, the whole thing gets cut off. But let's see. I mean, when I go now to the specific screen, I will have to see how whether that is good enough for
Maybe you
me to
can
do.
minimize it like by one more, and then that should be good to go.
Sure. Yeah, this is just for reference. So I think I'll now go to the other parts and let me know if it's not still visible. So I'm jumping onto the offline Android app. That's the first component that we would look at. So how's this? Is this uh, clear enough?
Waiting for some responses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah, so this is the home page of the offline Android application. Here, this is what we call as my dashboard or users dashboard. So when the user logs in, this is the page that they see, where, as you can see over here, it's showing some scheduled visits and some a lot of visits overdue over here. Then what has happened in last 24 hours over here, and then the total. Let me straight away jump into this scheduled option over here, through which I would fill up a form. We would get to see the form first, and then we would look at some of the other parts of the application as well. So here, when I go to the scheduled, these are the individuals that are there in the system, and these are the forms that it is saying that are right now scheduled. And if I look at overdue over here, these are again the individuals over here, and these are the visits which have become overdue. Uh, Now here, for example, let's say if I want to fill up this visit which is overdue, so I click on that and I jump straight away. I go to a form over here. I start filling up. These are different data types that are there in the form. The form is completely configurable in Avni through the admin application. So yeah, we have all various data types that are available over here, like date data type, and then that numeric data type that I filled. This is like a multi-select that you have. Then again, this is a numeric, and then you can have like validations, like for example, something above 100 if gets entered, then that's an abnormal value. uh, Here again, let me fill something like this. Uh, yeah, and here, for example, this is a date data type, and where it is asking when is the next VHND meeting is there, and then so when do you want to schedule that. So for example, here I say that on the 6th of August here. And so here, what happens is towards the end, then this kind of a summary page comes at the end of every form. And here, if you see, this is a kind of rule that is there in the form that you can put in based on certain some logic that is there. Some rules can get executed, which can give some decision support to the field worker. Example here is the irregular weight gain based on the weight entered in this form versus weight that was entered previously. Again, some of the abnormal conditions over here are highlighted in red, and the visits that get scheduled based on protocol. Let's say I filled in this form, and based on that I entered some date, and next this visit is getting scheduled. So this way, when I save this, then automatically this visit is scheduled in the system. And that's what I meant when I was saying that a calendar gets automatically created for the field worker. So here now, when I submitted that form, here what I land onto this page is what we call as subject dashboard. Here what happens is that you see this dashboard of Aarti Sharma over here, and the program that she's enrolled into pregnancy. Summary of her program enrollment so far over here is listed. What are the next visits that are planned for her that are listed over here. When she was enrolled into pregnancy program, what was the data that was entered, that can be seen over here. So this answers that question where like how does one see the past data. So this is all the record is maintained as complete one case of this individual, and every form that is filled is recorded against that individual over here. So at any point in time, you can refer back, and I'll shortly show the search feature. So you can search a particular individual and then go to come to this page and look at all the data that has been filled so far. All of this, basically, the visits that are planned, the visits that are completed, the programs, various programs that an individual is enrolled into. So just to elaborate on that, it's not just one program that an individual can be enrolled into. Let's say this individual here, if she had diabetes as well, then you can enroll, you can choose another program. I mean, if your design had that here, for example, there are child and eligible couple program over here. So if I choose one program and enroll the individual into that program, then the individual is enrolled into two programs, and each of them becomes a sub case within this one whole case of Aarti Sharma. So that each program can have its own set of visits that can be performed. So each program can have its own set of protocol, rule, decision support that you want to generate. From here, I'll jump back again to the My Dashboard here. And it's not just individual, but like I was mentioning, you can have multiple subject type over here. Like you can have household, Asha area is something that they want to record at a particular area. So that is created as another subject. So it's not just like one type of entity or one type of subject for which you can record data, but within a single app, you can record data related to multiple entities like individuals, self-help groups, household or families, water sources, this Asha area inputs over here. All of that is possible, and that can all be done within the same app. And all these filters over here, again in the app, like I mentioned in the form, all the fields are configurable. Here also all the filters over here are configurable. So by configurable, what I mean is that you can go to an admin app, and then you can, based on certain widgets that are provided over there, you can choose from them and then have this setup based on needs. Each organization and each program has their own specific need of filters and what all they need to search based on. So like I mentioned, again, the search, so you have an option of search over here, and again all of the fields over here can be like configured. Here, for example, I've configured contact number, and this contact number I've entered over here. If I search using this contact number, then I get an individual who has this contact number entered. And again, like through this workflow, I came in back to this subject dashboard where you see this individual is enrolled into an eligible couple program. These are the visits planned and no visits so far completed for her. And so you can, I mean, this I showed features for existing data or existing cases that are there in the system. But the app allows you to register new cases. So whatever subjects you have added in the system or the app is designed for, there would be register options for them. So you can register an individual or register a household and then add members to each of the household. So all those options are available over here. Let me just show how the household also looks like. So let's say we look at, so what I did was, stepping back. So what I did was, in the search over here, I selected household and then I clicked on submit. Over here, I get these various households that have been registered in the system. I go to, for example, this over here, Kulkarni, and then I see over here, these are the registration details of this household. Household number has been entered, religion, caste, various details, and then members have been added to this. Each member is then a separate case. I can navigate from here. I can click on, for example, Govind Kulkarni, head of the family, and then you see that these are relatives that are registered against that individual. And the individual has this person over here, Govind Kulkarni, has there are registration details related to Govind Kulkarni in the system over here. So yeah, this broadly covers various features. Of course, there are features like you can show a video from the app itself, or the other options are like login, logout that are available, or change password that are available in this offline app. Here, if you notice, there is a sync button. There is a button over here, and the number is showing up. So this is for the sync. So like I mentioned, the app is offline, completely offline. So even if you don't have internet connectivity, you can completely record the data, even provide advices, like in the form, I didn't mention, but all the standard features that are there typically in a form, like skip logic based on a certain question. A particular question should not like show up. Let me just show a quick example of that. For example, over here, so you have this question over here. If I choose no, then all these questions appear. If I choose yes, then those questions don't appear. So all of this is like the standard form features that are all possible. In addition to the standard form features, the rich features, the additional features that you have is like rules. So you can show counseling advice, referral advice, detect a vulnerability, high risk condition, or some calculations. All of that are possible uh, through this. So yeah, that covers most of the aspects. The app, I mean, like I mentioned, it's completely like it's multilingual. So here, for example, I select Marathi over here, and then what happens is the whole app then starts showing up in Marathi, because all the Marathi translations were uploaded and Marathi was added as a language over here. So now you see everything showing up in Marathi over here. So yeah. Yeah, so that completes the field application. I would now quickly jump onto the online part. So that app was completely offline, and then you have online Avni Web Console, where there are these different applications. I would first start with the data entry app, which is like an online counterpart for the offline application. So here you can again see list of all the individuals or all the subjects that are there in the system, along with their program enrollments, and you can do all the operations that I mentioned, like filling up a form, seeing existing case record. All of that can be done through this online application. So this allows for the use case of typically either data entry operator or program managers, supervisors who want to see detailed case records. They can see it through this application over here by logging in online. They don't have to download an app in their mobile and then download all the data. That takes a bit of a time. This is quick and better, and I mean, can be seen on a desktop. So moving on from the data entry app, then to the admin part of the admin side of the thing. So we have two applications over here, admin and app designer. Admin app allows you to set up languages or location hierarchy, user management. You can have user groups and permissions. Uh, you can the app provides ability to upload existing data that you may have either in the form of like Excel or CSV files, that it allows you to upload the data through this interface. You can there is support for generating IDs. Various programs and enrollments require IDs to be generated. They can be generated automatically. It has to be set up from here, but they can be generated in the either the offline Android app or the online app that I mentioned when they are filling up some form or doing some enrollment. Again, then I moved on to here the app designer part, and the whole app can be designed using the various interfaces that are provided over here. So for example, these are the programs that are configured over here. The colors that you were seeing, they can be configured over here. The forms can all be created using an easy interface. Using like I mean, this kind of interface where you can design your own forms. And so there are a bunch of configurations that are available, same like I was mentioning, my dashboard, search, various these things. You can have video playlists that you can create over here. and there is something called as bundle over here. So you can upload an existing bundle. If there is an organization who's already using Avni and you like their overall app design, with their permission you can take their bundle and then just upload it over here, and your app is completely set up using that. So you can basically quick start using someone else's existing implementation. Then I'll move on to the next component that is there, the translation. So we have an ability over here where someone can upload translations, and there is a third party tool that we use called as Localize that provides this kind of nice interface to enter translations, and you can enter translations in multiple languages and then download from here and upload into Avni, and then Avni starts supporting in that particular language. So that completes the admin part of the things. One more thing over here. Out of the box, you get reports that you can download in a CSV format, in a longitudinal format. So in case you have a statistician in-house who'd like to analyze the data using one of the statistical tools like SPSS, Strata, R, or even some other tool, maybe you might be using Tableau, etc., and you want some export available. So there is out of the box export that is available, which exports the complete data for each subject type and their each form that might be available in the system. Like for example, here it's child growth follow-up, and then I can choose the date, from which date to what date I want the data to be exported, and then that can be generated as an export over here. Then I'll move on to reporting and dashboard. These are again to be developed custom per project based on the requirements. So these kind of, like I was mentioning, graphical reports or dashboards can be generated. So here, for example, you're seeing something related to one of the organizations, maternal and child care, that they are doing, and these are the kind of graphs that can be generated and put together in one dashboard. Or this is another dashboard from the dam desilting project that I was mentioning, and you can have these kind of graphs along with lines, goal lines that are put over here, and more details that are available. So these kind of dashboards can be created. This is one of the dashboard that we've created for showing up Avni's data itself, Avni's usage data on the Avni website. So you can create dashboards that can be embedded onto your website as well. So there is that possibility as well. So this is, if you visit Avni's website, then you'll see a dashboard, you'll see statistics like this, and it is coming from this another open source reporting tool that we use to create custom reports, which is called as Metabase. Based on needs, we are using another open source tool for reporting, which is Jasper. And this is another example of a report that I am showing over here, which has table as well as graph together in one report. And when I click on a graph over here, I get to see the line list of the individuals who are because of which that bar is showing up over there. Then you can have aggregate reports like this. For example, this is a sample. This is like report in one of the implementation about individual education and occupation, and showing educational status, all these subcategories, and the number and the proportion over here. And these numbers are, you can click on this number over here to basically then see a report like this over here, which is like a line list that shows up, so that if you want to know why that 32, for example, is showing up over there, who are these individuals who are making up that 32. So you can then click on that and look at the list of each individual. And then you can after that, if you further want to drill down to your data and see what are the details of that individual, so then you can click on that link over there, and then that takes you to the same online data entry app that I was showing, where you can see actual case record details of all the data that has been captured for that particular individual or entity or water body, whatever you're dealing with. Again, there is like this map type of reports that are possible. So based on data captured and GPS location that is captured part of the application, so then you can have this kind of report over here. It's showing this colored pins for each of the program. And so you can have all these filters over here, filter based on PHC, subcenter. These filters are of course like hierarchical. So based on what options I select over here, uh, these filters can get like they can dependent on each other. And here if I choose this and let's say I say apply, so yeah, so the pins got filtered over here based on what I chose from the filter on the left. And then this we have integrated over here with Google Maps. I mean, multiple integration again is possible. So here then you have with Google Maps option like this, where you can then change the view and then have it seen by either a satellite view, or you can display the terrain if you want to analyze with respect to terrain a particular health condition or particular any other situation that your program is dealing with. Yeah, so that broadly I think covers all the aspects related to the demo. Of course, there is API if there is a integration that has to be done with some third-party reporting system or something, then Avni provides API through which I mean interface through which then developers can write further code and then push or pull data to integrate with another application. Either if you want to show it up on your website, or you want to have another reporting application, custom application, or some other system that you are already using. Yep, that brings me to the end of the demo. A very quick demo of various parts.
So there are a lot of questions. So
Okay.
I have noted them down. I'll probably answer some of them myself, and some of them I'll ask you to answer. There are a lot of them.
Sure.
We may not be able to answer all of them because in some of them I have not understood uh, clearly what it actually means. So one question, I'm just picking up randomly. I've arranged them in the order of simplicity to answer them. So uh, how does Avni ensure data authenticity from field collection? I forgot to take the name of the person who asked the question. So uh, so essentially, as you saw in the demo, when the forms are getting filled, uh, there are a lot of ways in which you can actually like validate the data. So to make sure that the data is actually correct. One thing, by the way, before that we didn't demo is that you have to log into the app. So as in you have to log in once to the app, and after that you can use the app while you're offline. You can log out if you don't want anybody else to sort of log in again to the app. So you can log out and then log in again. So that ability is there. But apart from that, from the data quality perspective, there are simple data validations available, but there are also very complex data validation available, which can make sure that the quality of data is good. So one complex data validation could be that you don't, there are certain conditions which are valid only for women, and somebody has filled that data for somebody who's a male, or based on age, or it could be combination of all these factors. So you can put in as much data quality checks as you want into the system, and it will all get validated in the field when the data is getting collected. So the user will get the error, and they will be stopped from entering data, and they'll have to correct the data there. So another question that is asked, maybe Arjun, you should answer this, is that can the data be geotagged and timestamped? Okay. I'll move on to the next one. I think once you mute yourself, you have to get permission to unmute. So that's why I was facing this problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you answer this question? Can the data be geotagged and timestamped?
So geotagged, the report map related report that I mentioned, so that was using geotag. So yes, every form you can enable which form you want to record the geolocation where it is being filled, and then then I mean, so it is getting geotagged that way. And second, on the second, I forgot what was the second
timestamp. Timestamp.
Yeah, so every form that is filled, we record a date and time with respect to that form that is filled. But yeah, if every edit operation, so Avni allows you to do edit operation on top of forms that are already filled. Of course, you can control it using user permissions. But yeah, every edit detail is not recorded as of now. So original timestamp is retained, and maybe when you edit, so that gets modified. So last detail you will be able to track. So you'll be able to track when it was initially created and when it was last modified. But if you want, if there is a need of detailed audit trail, then as of now that's not there. I mean, of course, we are continuously working to improve the system, so that will happen soon.
Another question. Sorry, we are trying to do this as many as we can. Can the filters on the Android app be customized? So I think maybe Arjun demoed it, but when you see the My Dashboard or when you saw the search screen, all those filters of how you actually search it or how do you actually see the field worker dashboard, they are all customizable. So Arjun is trying to open the screen. I think it's in an app designer, huh? So I think in this one we don't have. That's why it's not search filters. Maybe.
Yeah. So here, for example, you see these options over here. So the app will show up that one. So that way, you can configure all the fields in the My Dashboard filter over here as well. So it comes with various options over here. So you can keep, choosing which particular subject type you want to do it on and what is the type of filter that you want and those kind of details, and through that you can set up those filters.
So other question is, how do you program the app for your needs? What qualifications are required? So for most of the things, we have tried to create a user interface, and you can define the form, you can define all your data model, you can define your data structure, and also these he's showing filters and things like that. Translations. Most of the things are just data setup. There are few things for which you need to know a little bit of JavaScript, and though that JavaScript is used in certain places by the implementation. The platform uses JavaScript, but the implementations also need to use JavaScript in some place. Like for example, I was explaining about the validation. So for some of those complex validations, you need to write a little bit of JavaScript. One more question is, how heavy is the mobile app? In general, how much memory it consumes? So, mobile app, generally what we recommend to most of the places where people are using the mobile app, it runs on a commodity tablet or a mobile device. And in most cases, a mobile device which has around 2 GB memory, which is quite common. It works quite well on those. It could work maybe on 1.5 GB RAM also, but it works on most mobile devices. So in the context that the data is actually stored offline, the data is actually stored for your catchment only. So let's say if a program is running in multiple places, then okay, sorry. So I just read that somebody said, can you introduce us? Sorry. So in the beginning, I was not online, so I couldn't introduce myself. So I'm Vivek. I am also co-founder of Soundway. I work with Arjun on the Avni project. So yeah, so I'll move to the next.
Yeah. Shall we? Pause with the questions right now and then move on to Shobhabin's session and then maybe take questions.
Yeah.
So shall I start my presentation? Hello.
Yes.
Shobha.
Yeah, we can hear you.
ठीक है, थोड़ा हिंदी का भी बताया था सबको. हेलो एवरीबॉडी, गुड इवनिंग. मैं सेवा रूरल झगड़िया से डॉक्टर शोभा. आई एम शेयरिंग विथ यू द एक्सपीरियंसेस यूजिंग अवनी एप्लीकेशन फॉर एडोलसेंट हेल्थ. Message, your screen sharing is paused. I don't know why.
Maybe you can try once again. I'm just let me just disable it. You can then again start. Can you try once again? You try to share screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Yes. So this is Seva Rural Society for Education, Welfare and Action. We are a voluntary organization and situated in South Gujarat in Jhagadia village. And this is predominantly tribal community. Seva Rural is working in this community since last 40 years for health and development. We have here 250 bed hospital, which is recognized as FRU, first reference need. We have community health project, research, adults and health. We do have women development program, children education. We also work with the youth for their empowerment, having ITI training program. And we also recognize it's a NGO, great place to work. Today's objective is to share our experience of tracking adolescent individually using mobile application made by Avni, and then also demonstrate how this our focused approach is useful for vulnerability tracking and for the targeted counseling of adolescents. So why digital app? As usual, previously we were also using the pen and paper, like registers were available. And then we could not know that what is happening to each individual adolescent. But this tracking system, digital app, allows us to know the status of individual adolescent. As you know that there is a lack of health and education status information for adolescents. Like we have a pregnancy tracking system. We know the status of pregnant mother and her outcome, or maybe the child outcome, but there is nothing available with either with education system or with health system, that what is happening to the particular adolescent for his health or maybe the education status. In rural areas, so many adolescents are dropping out, but we don't have idea of this, their status. Then again, these tribal adolescents are more vulnerable because parents are illiterate. No counseling services are available. School teachers are also shy talking of reproductive health. And we at Seva Rural, we have used this IAMTECO application for digital tracking of pregnant mothers and newborn, and it is now rolled overall Gujarat. So we have some experience and confidence that this digital app will work. So in short, what were our program objectives, and accordingly we have asked develop Avni people to develop the or plan for this application. So basically we would like to reduce the prevalence of anemia, we want to improve menstrual hygiene practices, increase the knowledge on SRH, and also the school report ratio reduction. And then we have identified some vulnerabilities for the adolescent. For example, adolescent having severe anemia or moderate anemia or maybe severe malnutrition. Our tribal area, so we do see sickle cell anemia, and the adolescents are vulnerable for school dropouts here. There is substance abuse is seen in the field. Some adolescents having chronic sickness, school absenteeism due to menstrual problem. These vulnerabilities we had identified, and then we started working on that. So on the previous year, like in 2018, we are using this app. We had also included social vulnerabilities also. And when we saw the social vulnerability and these all vulnerabilities, so almost 80-90% adolescents were vulnerable. And it was very difficult to like work on the social vulnerabilities. So we stick to this, sticking to these vulnerabilities. So application overview, many things Arjun Bhai has already shared, but I will share with you the field application part of it. For example, this application gives us advantage for tracking of individual users with into adolescent. For scheduling of the visits, how regular the visits are happening and how the follow-up is being done. So there is a adolescent dashboard containing all the data per all individual. Then there is also option to show the videos through the application for awareness session. Then we have the feature of having targeted counseling. So client center counseling we can do. The person who's having, for example, severe anemia, we get counseling points of the severe anemia. And also the referral. We refer these vulnerable adolescents to our adolescent friendly health clinic or base hospital. So recommendation for referral is also given in the application. There are counseling points and there are home visit scheduling also is there for few of the vulnerabilities. And this application is also used for the monitoring. We have monitoring dashboards which maintains the work done by supervisors and also guides what is need to be done. So now we'll see the how do we work on this Avni app. So first we need to register on the application. Then we enroll the adolescent in this adolescent program. And then the regular visits are scheduled. So first we do the annual visit, and we have already given that when we want to do the visit for the particular adolescent. So for example, all adolescents will get annual baseline visits, then quarterly visits, and then again second quarter, and then the last quarter. So 4 visits basically all adolescents will get, and the vulnerable adolescent will get more frequent visit. Mostly the you can see the vulnerability monthly visit, or maybe there are home visits scheduled for the school dropout or maybe severe anemia or sickle cell disease. So that gets automatically scheduled for the work of the adolescent health supervisors. So this is the how we work on the track platform, enrollment, doing baseline. So where do we work? Actually, we are working with 20 schools, 10 villages, and 10 boarding schools. So there are around 40 areas we are working. We are working with the help of peer educator and adolescent health supervisors. So we are providing some services also, direct intervention for the some, like for example, distribution of iron tablets, menstrual hygiene kits, and for vulnerable adolescents, basically the targeted counseling. So this application allows us giving algorithmic approach, and also the system also is automated the performance reports on regular basis we can give. So these are just few pictures. When we go in the school, we do their height, weight, and we get direct BMI, where we can share with the adolescent also. This is your BMI, and then we can have counseling. Then we do this measuring hemoglobin, and then it is on the digital immediate result. Then individually the data are collected and the counseling and referral. So this is how the flow happens in the first visit. Then this dashboard already Arjun Bhai has shown you, but this is very useful for us for workers, like for example adults and health supervisors. They know how many visits are scheduled, how many are overdue, and this many at present. Actually, we have enrolled 3,600 adolescents in our platform. So this is basically supervisors are using, so they can we can keep the track whatever work they have done, and this is very useful for them for planning. For example, they know what are the, if they click on this, they get the schedules. If they click on overdue, they know the who are the overdue adolescents, and so that they can plan their daily visits accordingly. Then there is very good feature of the filter over here. For example, if we want to know for monitoring purpose, the severe anemia follow-up. So if I click on the severe anemia follow-up, then I can get the result of it, how many severe anemia follow-up has done, how many are remaining. So this for person who is working is also useful, and monitoring people also working useful. You can do multiple select also. For example, if you want to see the severe anemia and the gender, so this also can work. So multiple filters can be applicable. Or otherwise, if I want to see that in particular this Umarva boarding school, how many are the chronic sickness follow-up? So that is also available. So once you do filter and apply, whole list is available for us for the work plan also and for monitoring purpose also. For the monitoring purpose, the access is given to the program managers, and the particular health supervisors, they get access for them of their own area only. Then if they want to search individuals, this is also shown by Arjun Bhai. The name is written, and then the if area is also selected, they can get the particular individual data and record. So this is how the scheduled visits you can see. And this is in green color, and this is overdue. This overdue always becomes red in color. We give them 10 days time to complete their visits. If it is not done within 10 days, then the red color will be there. So this you can see here. यहाँ पर एक ड्रॉपआउट की फॉलोअप विजिट है, इसको सिकल सेल फॉलोअप विजिट प्लान हुई है, malnutrition की हुई है. तो इस तरह तो एक व्यक्ति को और ज्यादा भी वल्नरेबिलिटी हो सकती है, more than one vulnerability. So both visits get scheduled, and they can see here. And then they can click here, open the form of the particular person and do the visit as per the questions are coming. Then they will get summary of the particular individual. For example, they have fill up the form, and then the person is having underweight, so they get summary result. These are the hemoglobin status. Hemoglobin done on particular day. For example, in May, so in the May hemoglobin was 8 gram of particular adolescent, and now it is 12.2 gram. So this provides the summary of each adolescent and also the vulnerability status. So this is also very useful feature for the adolescent health supervisors for doing their work or visit. And if you click on the view all button, then you can see they're all visits, like the baseline form you can see, or maybe vulnerability visit we can see, what happened in the particular visit, that is also possible to see from this. These are the like socio-demographic characters you can enter here. This is the form and different questions. This we have studied RBSK program, Rashtriya Bal Kishore Swasthya program, and there is one other RKSK program is there in some districts. So this we have studied, and from them we have taken these questions. So here, if the person is having some problem, then it becomes red in color, so get highlighted, so we can focus also on the risk for the counseling and for providing the service also. So here you can see the ultimately when you fill up the questionnaire and do the checkup, the ultimate diagnosis finally here comes. So there is a severe anemia, sickle cell disease, addiction. So and then accordingly there are counseling checklist also is there. For example, sickle cell disease is there, then they get the counseling points. So we can ensure that all points are discussed, and it is client-centered counseling, so individual is very much focused. So previously, what we used to do, like we used to do awareness session for all, but we don't know whether this particular adolescent who has the particular problem, he has listened to it not, or whether we want to change his behavior or not, or he has changed his behavior or not. So here you can see the questions like in next follow-up visit, we can ask, do you know that you have sickle cell disease? So this is the reaffirmation of and also empowering the particular adolescents individually. This is the video application. Usually we use the tablet, so it's one-to-one also can be used, or 4 or 5 adolescents also can see at a time. So then a very important feature is the reporting platform, which is Metabase, which is also talked by the Arjun Bhai. But if we want to know about the what is the IFA consumption, either total or maybe the particular adolescent having severe anemia or moderate anemia, how much he has consumed that, we can see from here. Attendance in each fixed visit that we can see, care seeking menstrual disorder. So like these service delivery reports are also available for the program managers. If they are exiting some particular adolescent, maybe due to migration or something, then they have to write reason, and then if we want to know why they have exited, we can be the data is available for us. Then how do we resolve our problems? So this very good feature, Freshdesk. Here we are supposed to resolve that, open the tickets and write down our question, and also we have to prioritize like it is urgent work or you can do afterwards also. So these tickets get resolved as per our priority, and then we also get intimation of that this ticket has been resolved. So this is also very good platform, so that our problem solving is done very systematically and according to our need. This already shared by Arjun Bhai. Basically, admin part, if we change our area or maybe some health workers will change, then we can do this admin part from here also. So that is good facility for the program, these users of the program. Like this, we get some results from this Metabase, and we can show it how many we have registered, enrolled, or maybe how many we have referred, how many are having severe anemia, or like this. All whatever we have envisaged that we want these reports. So these all reports are available from the Metabase. Then this is one feature which is also we as a program manager would like to know that how many annual visits they are completing, or maybe quarterly visits how many are completed, or for particular vulnerable adolescents how many visits they are doing. So this is one of the very good feature we get from the Metabase, and we know how many visits are completed. So we know the average visits also 78% average visit done. So what are our learnings from this application? So basically this is identifying invisible vulnerabilities, because when we see as a total so many vulnerabilities are there. So for health and social other vulnerabilities, so healthy looking people, we found that 49% adolescents are suffering from health or social vulnerabilities, and this remains hidden and unattended. And also this affects their future of productivity. We don't have much time. We have many case studies that people having severe anemia or maybe sickle cell disease, they are likely to drop out from the school. So they become so much vulnerable. But with the support of this app and support of our service, we could like revert them back and they can attend their schools regularly. Then one-to-one individual level interventions. As I said earlier, this is also one of the feature which is very resource intensive and result oriented in a long run. Because we know the status of particular adolescent, where he was or where the she was, and now where is the what is the status at the end line or in between. Also quarterly also, if we do follow up, then we know whether they are consuming iron tablets or not, or using menstrual kits or not, or if they are referred or not. So like that we can improve our coverage of proven interventions. Then it is also useful for improving non-clinical outcomes like awareness and knowledge part. As I have shown, that there are videos and there is a targeted counseling, so their knowledge has also should also increase seeing these videos and getting information. So technology is enabled for the frontline workers, and this is along with empowering the adolescents. This empowerment of frontline workers via technology can be done like in the hands of teachers or maybe frontline health workers. So they can also use this application and do their work very specific terms. So what are the challenges? So whenever we work on digital application, one of the challenges like we miss one-to-one connection also. So usually what we do that after this tracking is over, there are the counseling points of there where the eye-to-eye contact is there and they talk with the particular individual. Otherwise, usually people do just filling up the form. So we make sure that it should not happen. Then from the program side, challenges due to different modification and from our side in the app. For example, if we need filter, when these people go to school and search for one name, there are so many people's name are same. So we ask for the filter of standard. So particular age standard and the particular name and the gender also we ask them to add on for filter. So so if whatever we do changes, program modification need to be done in the app. Then important aspect, training of the staff for the using of the digital app, what to do and what not to do is very important. So Samanvay team has helped us, Pradipta and all, they have come and trained our staff, and they also do online training also sometimes. So Avni Arjun Bhai and Avni's staff also helps in training and they visit also. Then sometimes, although this app works in the offline, but sometimes syncing the data is also difficult in a rural area or a remote area. So there's sometimes it is a problem. Then sometimes there is a unplanned visit. So that also interfere with the routine visits. So scheduled visits are different, and then whenever these people will go to the school or maybe the villages, they do unplanned visits, so that get mixed up. Then data deletion and duplication. So this is also sometimes happen, that duplication of records or data deletion happens. Then we have to contact to Avni for our problems. Recently we did one workshop NGOs in Gujarat, and many NGOs they have attended this workshop. Here we can see Arjun, we have gone to the field. There are peer educators who are supporting us in the using this application and providing services. And I think then 4 NGOs from Gujarat is now using this app according to modification of their need. Then question comes about the sustainability, how we can sustain this program. So current RBSK and RKSK program interventions are already there and they are on the paper base. So if they can use this application, and this can be also adapted by the government through school teachers or maybe ASHA or maybe the adult care counselor also can. So that's all. Thank you.
Shall we take one question?
Yes.
So one question from Professor Srinivas. There are two of them. I'll just put them together. Uh, have you worked for single parental children about their mental, emotional, and psychological status? And the other one, which was related, was that have you suggested to the adolescents any food formulations to avoid malnutrition, protein hunger?
So for malnutrition status, actually we do suggest them. There are the counseling points are there, so they should eat this Anganwadi worker. ICDS also gives some food. So here children, they don't drink milk is provided from government or ICDS food. So we motivate them to use that, and we also have made the video on the nutrition subject, and we show them what should be eaten, because usually these people are using this pouches which are ready-made pouches which are available. So we say instead of that you have peanuts and chana and seed chana and all that. About single parents, around 14% of our adolescents having single parent, 1% do not have parents. So what we support them, like we whenever do individual tracking, we try to support them so that they should not go in the dropout stage. And here is Sevarol, we have linked this with one Vatsalya Dham organization. So we tried as these children who want to go to first boarding schools, we facilitate their admission to the boarding schools also, that types of mental health. Really we want to do this year because we want to understand more on that. So that's how we this much only we do for this single parent. So this one Srinivasan is asking that he has prepared one food product. Sure, we'll be happy to have. Please share with us. Is anything else?
Hi. So we have run out of time.
Yeah.
6:30.
So, yeah, right.
But I mean, we done well on time in some way. So so there are a lot of questions which are there in the chat, and we will have a copy of all those questions, and we will format it in a way that those questions are clear, and we will answer those questions, and we'll reply back to everyone who has subscribed, and we have your email IDs. If we have only phone number, we'll try to contact you other way. But I think we have email ID of everyone. We'll reply to that, and then you can reply back to us whenever you if some questions are not answered properly, or you would like to have a further discussion with us. So you can do that, or if you want to contact us anytime, you can go to Avni website, and on the home page there is contact us section. You can fill that, and it comes to us, and we reply we reply quite quickly on that.
Hey, thank you, Vivek. And thank you, Shobhaji and Arjun, for a brilliant session. I think we don't have any more pending questions apart from the ones you already mentioned, so we can wrap up the session for the day. I wanted to check with you if there's it would be great if you can put in your email addresses on the chat so people who have attended the session can directly email you. I think that would be best. Great. Okay, then thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, thanks to Vivek, Shobhaji, and Arjun for conducting this brilliant session. And also thanks to Chaitanya from Stars Forum for helping us reach out to as many people as possible. Thanks once again, everyone. Do reach out to us if you have any further questions or any other questions that you need to be at, any further assistance that you need from our end. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.